One Piece is too long is a statement I see made on anime and manga related social media posts all the time. I'll see someone asking for recommendations on what they should watch or read next, to which someone will inevitably say, why not One Piece? The response to that is usually always something along the lines of, no, because I have a life and 1,000 episodes is just too much time. So what I want to look into today is why would that be a bad thing? I mean, wouldn't you want something you're enjoying to last a long time rather than it just being over and done right away? So let's go ahead and dive into this topic and examine it a little bit more closely. Quick reminder for all my viewers, we now have a community gilded server. It's a lot like Discord, only it's not.
We don't do that.
So if you want a place to hang out, chat about anime, manga, or gaming, or anything like that, there'll be a link for it down in the description below. Back to the topic on hand. Now let me preface this discussion by saying that if you just don't want to watch One Piece, then you can burn in hell. I'm kidding. Don't be mad. You're 100% entitled to your own opinion, and you don't really have to justify it to anybody else. But that won't stop me from being a little disappointed. Now back to the topic on hand. Why would a non-One Piece fan want a series to be shorter? And to be fair, I did feel the same way that a lot of these people did before I started the series for myself. It has been over a year since that, so I'm going to try my best to recall why I was feeling the way I was, even though it's been a little bit of time. Now, I think it's understandable to see 1,000 episodes of something and be a little intimidated by it. What if there are too many characters to keep track of? What if the pacing is excruciatingly slow? Or what if it's just bloated by a lot of low quality filler? It's these type of questions that discourage anybody from wanting to start a series no matter how much praise it gets. However, a series like One Piece would not have lasted over 20 years of publication in a competitive market if there were some glaring issues to it like those. One Piece is first and foremost an adventure series, and I think approaching it with that mindset as a reader or viewer is the appropriate way to go about it. We are given a hook right at the very beginning to kind of keep us going, and that being, what is the One Piece? But spoiler, 1,000 chapters later, and we still don't really know. So it's really not important to get too caught up on that and want the payoff of that mystery right away, because you're going to be waiting a long time. It really is best to just kind of focus on the here and now, like what's going on right now with these characters, and not be too focused on like where we're going to be at later on. Because one of the most incredible aspects of One Piece is the imaginative and creative world that Ichiro Oda has created. To list a couple of examples of the places that we visit on the series, check these out. Reverse Mountain has these waterfalls that defy gravity by flowing from the ocean up to the top of the mountain instead of the other way around. Skypiea is a lost island that was blown into the sky and now floats on the clouds and is inhabited by people that look like angels. And they may or may not actually be aliens. Enies Lobby is a government stronghold that rests over a massive hole in the planet, and somehow it never turns to night here. And those are just a small handful of examples out of just an enormous world that has been built up over the last 20 years. When the Straw Hat Pirates land on a new island, you can't help but be very curious and excited to see what kind of bizarre twist this island is going to have in store for you. So on this adventure, we spend all this time getting invested with the characters and exploring and discovering all these mysteries along with them hand in hand. So we have all these incredible mysteries like the origin of the fruits that give people superpowers, mystery of the Void Century, just a period of time where there is absolutely no records and no information about. And then there's all the mysterious actions of characters that we don't fully understand, like Red-Haired Shanks. I know you're up to no good. It should be stated, but all of the arcs in One Piece do have like a narrative book end to them. Like you're never really worried about getting to a conclusion of a story beat here and there. Like there's always hills and valleys. Like if you want to reach a satisfying narrative point in the story, you can do that and then go take a break. Upon first impression, One Piece might just look like a very goofy, lighthearted pirate story. And sometimes it is that, and other times it is not that at all. Because of the amount of work that Oda has put into really fleshing out the world, there are all kinds of very diverse and interesting factions that play. You of course have pirates, but then there's also bounty hunters, government organizations, the navy, gangsters, kings and queens of different kingdoms, self-proclaimed gods, sea monsters, slave traders, fish people, giants, aliens, samurai clans, and so much more. So while all these different groups do exist at the same time as one another, their relationship with each other is always changing, so you're never always 100% sure how any encounter is going to go. And then on top of that, there's just a whole bunch of morally gray characters in the whole mixed who have their own agendas, and as the stakes get raised higher and higher, it just builds up the tension that much more. Also, I just kind of want to throw it in here real quick, but I'm not a very emotional person. Like, I feel like over time I've become very desensitized to a lot of things. But One Piece is one of the very few series that has made me cry on multiple occasions. The emotional beats of One Piece are like an immaculately composed symphony where each and every note just strikes the right chord in the very heart of your soul. Like, for example, somehow Oda is able to make us cry over this grown man who dresses like a baby, and it all makes complete sense as why he's doing it and why we feel the way we do. And it's not just the emotional moments that land well. The foreshadowing in this series is masterclass. Oda is an author that will have a character drop just like a single, seemingly meaningless line of dialogue at one point, and then somehow hundreds of episodes later, that single line of dialogue will clue us in that it was actually a very pivotal, important plot thread for an upcoming story, and here we are spending like 100 chapters or so dealing with the situation. And this has happened multiple times. Like, if you go back through on a rewatch, the amount of foreshadowing in One Piece is insane. And these satisfying beats are only really possible given the proper time for setup by having the world that is as believable as it is and developed and filled with characters who behave in ways that make sense with what we know of them. At the end of the day, the point I want to make is that One Piece shouldn't be viewed as a mountain to climb over or an achievement to earn. One Piece is just a brilliantly composed piece of fiction, and if you want to get into it, don't rush it. Take your time. Take it bit by bit, maybe arc by arc or saga by saga, and do what you gotta do to make sure your batteries are 100% before you move on. Take a break from the series, go read or watch something else, and then come back when you're ready. And while there's a lot of depth to the world and the world building, it's not complicated. It's not very difficult to get back into it even after a break, as long as you're focusing in the here and now. I have actually found myself on a lot of occasions recently saying that One Piece is my favorite piece of fiction. And I say that as someone that's also a huge fan of stuff like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. So when a One Piece fan is trying to introduce someone to the series, they're not doing it because they're like a brainwashed cultist or something. They are just genuinely ecstatic about this series that is very unique, creative, and is unlike anything else out there. It is often believed by people that the world that we're currently living in is pretty bleak and depressing at times. So why not escape the bleakness by escaping to the creative world of pirates created by Ichiro Oda? Which brings me back to the original question. Is One Piece too long? And if I had to answer it, I'm going to say no. If anything, I wish there was even more of it. Hey guys, Kyle here. Thank you for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. And if you are also a lover of One Piece, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. So until the next video, I have been LootingKyle, and remember, be kind to others, and have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day.